Picking up where we left off, we're looking down at the Lost City from West Tongue Viewpoint. Down below us is a beautiful valley with striped walls I call Tongue Valley. I think we could call it big attraction number 6. At the head of the valley, we're going to check to see if there's an easy way down there or not.
I'm going to walk over there to the east tip and see what that looks like. But easy path here, but boy, that's a spectacular viewpoint out there. It definitely ought to be better known. Not that hard to get to. Less than 2 miles from where we parked, you can get to that viewpoint. All right, this is the head of the canyon, and there's a bit of a drop-off that would probably need rope to get down to the bottom of that jump. But then, once you're down, it should be fairly easy going all the way down this valley, this amphitheater between the tips of the Forked Tongue. And we think we see ways where you could make it down to the cone level. So you can see them out there. And we're now exploring the eastern tip of the Forked Tongue to see what it looks like. That'll be up here. Okay, we're walking out along this rim here to the eastern tip of the Forked Tongue, and maybe we'll get a different perspective on the Cone City down there. We have a steep cliff here, loose rock. But now you're going to see in real time the view that we see for the first time. Okay, we're coming up to the tip, just a few more yards away. And let's take a look at this new view. Oh man, look how big those domes are. Wow.
Just ahead, we're starting to see the Lost City from the north side, but we're not to the best view yet. Watch for the tip of the East Tongue Viewpoint, coming right up.
Amazing. That's really spectacular. I would think people would want to see this. Okay, we're continuing along the edge. This whole edge is really good. I guess the actual tip of the tongue is up ahead. I suspect hikers would like to see this new area that looks very attractive for adventuring, hiking, photography. All right, we're a few yards farther along, and the view keeps changing with every step. There's some domes and hoodoos and swirled rocks, and we're coming up now on the eastern tip of the Forked Tongue. We'll check out the new view from here, and we're also going to get a view off to the east of the valley between. Okay, just like the western tongue tip, this one has a promontory, a landing on a narrow neck. So here we go. Here's the view. Oh man, beautiful view of the domes down there. Wow. Look at that. Hallelujah. We found a great new area to explore. All right, let's take a big sweeping panorama of this viewpoint here on the east tip of the Forked Tongue Ridge. We're looking southward now and sweeping down the valley. Some good wavy rocks.
Look for a cute outcrop on the valley floor I call the microwave. It's bigger than it looks because we're about 400 feet above it. Up close, it might be worth some photos, and there's other outcrops like it on the surrounding plain.
And you should be able to see the domes. Yeah, there's that new cluster of photogenic domes down there. That big brown dome. And off this way, looking to the west, you have that valley with domes inside of it, and a big, colorful, striped wall that I think you could navigate down from the top. It'd be tricky. You might need a rope in places, but you'd come out up there, and then here's the narrow neck I'm standing on. So that's your big panoramic view of the new discovery site from this viewpoint. Boy, look at that big dome down there. And just a lot of room for exploration of new things out here. No way I could see it all, but showing you some of the highlights. And maybe this will be famous someday, we'll see. All right, we're walking the ridge line now. This is looking out over the valley between two very prominent ridges of Navajo sandstone, and now you can see that we're walking right along this rocky ridge, fairly flat, easy going, and we're hoping to see Sky Pocket next.
If you watched episode 2, you remember I was super impressed with Sky Pocket the previous year. Now we're approaching it again from the top of the Forked Tongue Ridge. On this clear, hot day, it's not as lovely as it could be, but it's still magnificent and well worth admiring. Here it is.
Okay, we're at Sky Pocket again, looking at it from the ridge line from farther north than I was last year. And boy, isn't she a beauty? Look at that. Red and white cones, and a lot of good stuff to film and see and explore. So it's nice to see it again a year later from a different perspective. As we walk along the ridge line, we'll show you how the perspective gradually changes. And the wavy bowl on the right. Now just up ahead is as far as I went last year. So it was great fun to hike farther north and see the end of the Forked Tongue there with all the new cluster of domes. And boy, that was a major discovery. And here we are again. So anybody that wants to see Sky Pocket, it's not that hard to reach. Just 1.5 miles or 2 miles from a trailhead, and you're there. All right, here we have Sky Pocket there, and turning right into the wavy bowl, whatever its permanent name is, I don't know, but that's its temporary name. And this is all stuff that we saw last year. Over here is where I scrambled up to the ridge line. And I walked over there. We're gonna see that part next. But good to be back. All right, this may be the scree slope that I scrambled up to the ridge line last year. It's pretty steep all the way around otherwise, but this one spot you can get up to the ridge, which I did. It was blowing like crazy up here last year. It's very calm today. So now we're walking along the edge of the wavy bowl. And on the other side, we should get another good look at the Sky Pocket domes, castle domes. But here's a different view I didn't shoot last year, looking down into the bowl. It looks bigger to me than I remember last year. Pretty big. All right, here's the south side of the wavy bowl viewpoint. And we're coming up on a different view, a different angle on Sky Pocket. Those castle-like domes down there, I think are quite scenic. So I scrambled up between those domes where there's a scree slope at an angle, and then I walked up behind the cones last year, which if you saw my film on that, you remember. And then last year I also walked along the ridge
That's
line.
the end of the recording on this day of discovery. In another 1.5 miles of easy walking, my hiking buddy and I were back at the trailhead, a little bush from the heat, but feeling really gratified by what we had found. This proves that there are still great things to see on the Paria Plateau beyond the wave and white pocket. For anyone wanting to avoid the crowds and hike unexplored territory without a permit, this is the hot ticket. You get Sky Pocket and the Lost City with its 5 additional big attractions like the Tongue Viewpoints, Tongue Valley, and the Skywalk, making this one of the best hikes on the Vermilion Cliffs. Thanks for joining me. Watch for more new discoveries on the Paria Plateau.